Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back again. That was, I couldn't hear. So I hope that if you could hear my voice, then don't watch this again, but I'm going to zip it up really fast this time. But I'm coming back here because I get a lot of questions about CBD oil. It's cold here, by the way. And I want to address those questions mostly because I want you, my friends, to be educated about what is in your CBD oil. No CBD oil is the same. Just because it says it's CBD oil does not mean there's CBD oil in there. 80% of CBD oil that's being spot tested by the feds right now is doesn't even have CBD in it. So I hate that when people say, oh, I tried CBD but it didn't work for me. Well, did you try a good product? Because who knows if it wasn't just olive oil with a lovely sticker stuck on it. So you want to make sure that you're educated and that you can look at the back of your bottle and know exactly what you're getting. So of course I've probably researched 50 different kinds of CBD oil that my friends will ask me about, which I gladly do, and it's been a lot of fun. I've yet to find a single CBD oil that has all the check boxes that Green Compass does. So you can trust me, but I want you to be educated. I want my friends to be able to know how you pick up a bottle and look at the back or look on the website and see what it is. The most important thing that you need to be aware of is there are a lot of white labeled companies. White labeled means that there's one company that is feeding CBD to 100 different companies. It's the exact same product, but they're feeding it to a marketing company, and these marketing companies are fabulous. They're good at what they do. They have beautiful websites, they have beautiful labels, they make their product look amazing, but guess what? We don't know exactly where it's from. They're very vague on their website as to where it is. There's no pictures of farmers. There's no talking about growing it. There's no talking about your season. There's no true knowledge of the actual growing of it, which is a huge red flag. You want to know exactly where your CBD is coming from. As I mentioned in the first video that I've deleted because I didn't think you could hear me. Gosh, I hope you can hear me. That Chernobyl, they're trying to monetize Chernobyl right now, and there's an article I read that they're actually going to be turning all of that land into hemp fields to grow hemp. Oh my gosh, we're going to have radioactive hemp. You want to know where your hemp comes from. You want to know that it comes from farmers that know what they're talking about. So when it's from a white labeled company, you have no idea where it's from. It's easy to figure out the white labeled companies when you get online because they don't talk about their farming practices. Typically they're from a big city, so they're sitting in a concrete paradise talking all about hemp, and they're literally doing it for the investment because they know that there's a lot of money in CBD, which is why I love Green Compass, because they never started out to start a CBD company. They literally are farmers, 6th-generation farmers that are growing CBD because they wanted to help their family and their friends. The next thing to worry about is marketing terms. Oh, I had a friend who told me, oh, but my CBD is pharmaceutical grade. That means absolutely nothing. What does that mean? What does pharmaceutical grade mean? Nothing at all. It's a marketing term. You've got to be wary of what people say and their terms because CBD is not regulated by the FDA or anyone for that matter. So we could claim anything about CBD and you would believe it, I guess, but that's what is very important about having third-party testing, which I'll hit in a minute. The other thing you want to do, you want to make sure that you have THC in your product. There's a lot of people that are saying, oh, it's THC free because everybody's scared of THC. But the legal limit of THC is 0.3%. So that is minuscule. And even our products say up to 0.3%. My product before on the QR code, it says 0.07% THC. I have this tiny, tiny, tiny amount of THC in my product. You can also get non-THC products from Green Compass, but that THC, if you look at a pie chart, like a quarter of the pie chart shows all the amazing benefits of CBD, but then 3/4 of the pie chart shows all the additional cannabinoids and terpenes that are added to your product when you add just a tiny bit of THC. The THC is what is knocking out the seizures, knocking out these neurological responses, the anxiety, the depression. It's phenomenal. Of course you're going to get benefit from pure CBD, absolutely. But you're going to get like 10 times, 100 times more benefit from having THC in your product. So that's a big thing that people are in discussion about, is THC or no THC. So the first thing I'd say, I just want everybody to be able to identify the best CBD oil. People all the time send me pictures of their product, and I love, love, love researching it. But I want you to know how to find out what your product is and make your best decision on what your CBD is. The first thing you want to make sure that there's a third-party certificate of analysis. This means that you can determine what's exactly in the bottle that you have in your hands. We have QR codes on the bottom of our bottles that go straight to that specific batch, and it'll tell you. Like I said, my full spectrum bottle had 0.07% THC in it, which is just tiny, but you can see everything that's in your bottle there. I was doing research for someone last night that there was a third-party certificate, but I looked at it and the date was April. Okay, it's September, so either they're not selling a ton of CBD or they're not keeping their, there's no full disclosure on their third-party certificate. You want to make sure that maybe they had a good one and they're proud of that one, but that was 5 months ago. So you need to make sure that your third-party certificate is current. You want to make sure that there's clean soil. Hemp is a natural soil detoxifier. Farmers use hemp to pull all the heavy metals and pesticides and fertilizers out of the land. So that's what it naturally does. If you are using a product that says organically grown, that really doesn't mean anything. They could have started their farms last week. You want organic certified. It takes 10 years to be organic certified. Our farms were previously organic sweet potato farms. So our farms have been organic for many, 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 many years. So Green Compass is certified organic. You want to make sure that you have that certification because, like I said, they could have started their farm last week, last year. It's still drawing out bad chemicals from the land if it hasn't been certified organic. You also want to make sure that your extraction is CO2 extraction. All that means is that there's no major heat that's going to damage the molecules. It's a more expensive form of extraction. So if there's a brand that's cheap, you get what you pay for. So with CO2 extraction, you're not going to have residue of solvents like ethanol and butane and those kind of things. Next thing, you want to make sure that your product is from the hemp flower. The hemp flower is the purest form of CBD that you can find, and lots of people, they'll even say it on their ingredients, which is hilarious, but is from aerial parts. Aerial parts are stems and stalks. Basically, that's watered down CBD. So if you're paying a cheaper price, it's really not cheaper because it's going to take you twice as much product, 3 times as much product to have the same effect as one bottle that's made from the purest form of CBD, which is the flower. So you want to make sure that your product comes from the flower. The next thing, you want to make sure that it is a clear golden color. The clear golden color is so important. I had someone send me a picture that they pulled out of their CBD, and it was amber colored, and it was foggy, and it looked like it had stuff floating in it. Ugh, I mean, it looked awful. It looked like it came out of the toilet. Don't drink that. If it's clear and golden color, it's the purest CBD that you can have. It's had all the byproducts removed, so you're getting purely CBD. The next thing is you want to make sure that it is has MCT oil. This is kind of tricky because there's a lot of new companies coming out with water soluble. And from what I can understand, but we know that MCT oil is a medium chain triglyceride. Coconut oil is an example of that. And ours is MCT oil based. And any good product will have MCT oil in it. Because CBD does not absorb into your body without the assistance of this fat. So because we put it under our tongue, we want it to absorb as fast as possible because once you swallow it, it becomes a part of the digestive process. And then it becomes very diluted if you're just taking a little bit. So if you put it under your tongue, you want it to absorb as fast as possible. And what that means is the MCT oil has the highest bioavailability or absorption. There's some companies coming out now that are saying they're water soluble, which water soluble, why do you want water soluble? Because if you can have it with MCT oil, which is probably more expensive, then it's going to be absorbed the fastest. They're claiming that they have this patented nanotechnology to make it water soluble. But in order to make CBD oil water soluble, it has to go through a whole chemical process where they're adding in chemicals in order to refine it, and then there's residue of those chemicals in your product. So if it's natural, a natural remedy, why would you go and add chemicals to your product? It doesn't make sense. So to have it based with MCT oil is the best way that you can have it, the fastest bioavailability to absorb to your body and into your bloodstream. The last comment I want to make is you want to make sure that you look at your ingredient list. Just like with food, they say you don't want anything that's longer than your thumbnail. I have seen some ingredient lists that are ridiculous. So we're taking CBD oil because we want a natural remedy, right? We're trying to protect our liver and our kidneys from all the medications that we take. And so why would you add a chemical back into it? There's a very popular brand here. You look at it, it has sucralose. Sucralose is Splenda, a fake sugar. Why in the world do you need to add a fake sugar to CBD oil? That's just ludicrous to me. And we all know that fake sugars, there's studies everywhere saying how bad they are. They're chemicals, they're not broken down by our body, and there are many studies saying they lead to cancer. There's other ones that have preservatives in them, potassium sorbate. A really cheap way to make your CBD oil is, instead of MCT oil, is to put vegetable glycerin in it. Vegetable glycerin is a chemical. It's not fully broken down by the body. Common side effects are nausea, diarrhea, upset stomach, headaches, and so you don't fully digest it. So why would you take a natural product that has a chemical added back into it? That just blows my mind. So you want to find the fewest ingredients and the shortest ingredients and the most natural ingredients when you're choosing your CBD product. So I know that if you go look at your CBD oil or what you're looking at, Green Compass so far is the only one that has all those boxes checked. There's pros and cons for different things. I know that people are learning, but I fully believe and have total confidence that Green Compass is the best CBD on the market right now. And to summarize, you want to make sure that it's not white labeled. You want to make sure that you have the option to have THC if you can take THC. THC offers amazing benefits, just tiny amount, 0.3%. This girl's never even smoked a cigarette, so THC is not bad in a tiny amount. You want to make sure that there's a third-party certificate of analysis, clean soil, certified organic. You want to make sure that it's CO2 extracted, made from the hemp flower, the purest form of the flower, the best value, the best quality. And you want to make sure that it's a clear golden color, that it's made with MCT oil, and you want to make sure that the ingredient lists aren't ridiculous and that there's not a bunch of fake stuff added back into a natural remedy. So go enjoy your football, hook 'em horns. I don't know what the score is. It's probably not very good, but have a great day.